Hello and welcome to the first episode of Bellwright. Bellwright's a open world medieval civilization main character basically building game with a campaign story. It just got an expansion which added sea traveling, merchants, and a bunch of other stuff that we'll probably get into. This is a game that I've been looking at for quite a while, but now it seems like they've added enough stuff that I'm gonna actually want to get really into it. So I will say this: I did do a session for about 10 hours where my camp got raided and I basically got messed up pretty bad, and that was basically just to learn how to play this to make these videos more streamlined and better quality. But anyway, this is the character I created. The body character customization is not very much. It's basically a triangle system. You got male and female to choose from, and then you have quite a few styles, so you can change your character's eyes. Not very many, but still some stuff. Change their eyes, eyebrows, hairstyles. They got about 22 hairstyles. You got skin type, makeup, blushes, nose, eyebrows, chins, cheeks, foreheads, all that stuff. But we shall get into this and see if I can survive a bit longer. We'll play with normal setups. Because I'm sure multiple people are probably going to be doing normal setups. Multiple threats at once is checked off, though. But we'll turn it on, be a little bit harder on ourselves. Well, I'll keep the tutorials on to go through those, but let's hop into this. Character's name is going to be Ember. We'll start building ourselves a village and hopefully into a whole nation. Yes, I'm ready to start the game. Now, the hardest part is setting up in basically any of these games is getting your base started, but there is a story in this will go over here.
Isn't it funny how one small decision can have consequences that ripple through history? Or are we victims of a predetermined path? Was it chosen for you the day you visited your favorite woods on your 10th birthday? Was it destiny that the royal family were hunting there at the same time? From a tree on high, you watched as Prince Voldar and Princess Osen laughed, talked, and tracked wild animals without a care in the world. And you watched in helpless horror as a stray arrow bolted through the trees, hitting the prince in the chest like a lightning strike. Just like that, the prince was dead. And when the princess found you standing over her brother's dead body, it felt as though the gods were playing a cruel trick on you all. In the panic and confusion, you ran from the scene as fast as your legs would carry you. Fueled by rage and grief, the king demanded the head of any child who fit your description. Fearing for your life, your father asked a friend to bring you far away. Away from the king's wrath. In the middle of the night, you were taken from your home and brought away on horseback. In tears, you called out to your mother, but it was too late. Your old life was over. For years, you hid from the royal family, your resentment growing. You heard stories of your homeland, the rise and fall of a rebellion, the death of the king, and the reign of the evil Queen Osen. But on the eve of your 20th birthday, your guardian, the man who smuggled you out of Carvinia and kept you safe all these years, was brutally killed by a mysterious assassin. As he died in your arms, his hand clutched a coin with a strange sigil emblazoned upon it, a clue. Now, you have returned to your homeland for answers. Through choice or through fate, vengeance would be yours. But how will you fare in a land you no longer recognize?
So, we're all in agreement that the sister killed the brother, right? That's how this type of storyline goes. But anyway, let's hop into this. I'm kind of curious how much of the campaign is finished, because this game is still in early access. But let's head on through. Chapter 1, Herondine. Herondine is believed to be the oldest settled village in the lowlands, but conflict was sown into its very foundation. Within years of its establishment, the settlers of Herondine became divided on the growth of their village. Some wanted to expand north, while others wanted to stay close to the valley. My grandmother told me stories about the early settlers, recalls Rosetta Amari, a 101-year-old woman who spent her entire life in Herondine. The folks here barely had enough buildings to shelter everyone, and yet they still bicker day and night about the future of the village. They decided to appoint a first elder for leadership. But those who wanted to push north sabotaged the election, and a chicken ended up as an elder. Not a figure of speech, a literal chicken. The chicken was said to be an uninspiring, indecisive leader, and a human took over the elder post a month later. I would have loved if they kept the chicken as the elder. That would have been great. But I'll read most of the lore strips that I come across, and I'll try to keep these videos in between probably 40 minutes and an hour. We got a chest up here, and we got a torn piece of paper. We're fighting to save these innocents, but it's getting harder by the day. Who could have known that the butcher with that grim name is someone who's got a soft spot for kids? Together, we're a makeshift family in this mess. But there's talk of a rat among us, someone leaking our next move, maybe even leading the king's dogs to our door. Can't trust anyone these days. And then there's my own kid. Always looking at me like they know something's up. Makes my skin crawl. I'm in this to protect them, but how do you shield your own from a storm like this? Every move we make feels like a gamble, but we're in too deep now to turn back. Last words of Bellwright. I am the caretaker of this bell tower, entrusted with its maintenance and protection. My duties has been to ensure that the bell atop this tower serves its purpose, to warn the people of northern descent and neighboring villages of impending danger. For years I've stood watch over this land from the heights of this tower. It has been my responsibility to keep the bell in working order, ready to ring out its warning at the first sign of trouble. But now, as I pen these words, the tower lies in ruins around me, a testament to the passage of time and the neglect of our once vigilant community. I write this note in the hopes that someone will stumble upon it and learn from our mistakes. Our failure to maintain this bell tower has left us vulnerable to the dangers that now threaten to engulf us. I can only pray that whoever finds this note will take up the mantle of responsibility and restore this tower to its former glory. May this bell tower once again serve as a beacon of warning, guiding the people of the lowlands through the storms that lie ahead. Alright, we might actually have a tiny bit of side quest here. Also, it looked like there was some climbable thing up here. These little white dots are interaction points. No, just a little bush. We'll still climb up here just to see. So far, I haven't seen a way to actually crouch. Yeah, I think there's a way up there. Maybe we can repair it later. Let's head on down to the village to talk to Dobran Yolkin, the first elder. I will say this: the maps are not procedurally generated, so everything you'll see me do, you'll be able to see as well. But it is quite a big map. And all these are basically bandit comments that we'll have to clear out through our playthrough. I will say for like resource gathering moments or anything that needs me to basically sit still for about 2 hours and just farm stuff out, I'll probably leave out of these episodes, or I'll just create like a 4x speed fast forward segment of me going through them. Anyway, welcome to Herodine, our first village.
Come closer. I think we need to talk, traveler. You're a new face around here, and new faces showing up rarely ends well for this village. I have a duty to my village first and foremost. I need to know who you are and why you came here.
Before that, let's actually go on the options here because he was super quiet for me. No, everything's maxed out. Okay. Oh yeah, they also use an AI for voice acting, which you can turn that off or on depending if you want to read or not. So that's why the voices might be a little weird.
I think we need to talk, traveler. You're a new face around here, and new faces showing up rarely ends well for this village. I have a duty to my village first and foremost. I need to know who you are and why you came here.
Mean no harm. I came to the lowlands looking for some answers.
Looking for answers, huh? In a perfect world, I could give you all the information you need, and you could be on your way. But speaking openly can be a death sentence these days. As long as you're asking questions, you're putting us in danger.
Do I have your permission to stay in the village for now, at least?
No, but you have my permission to build a shelter on the outskirts of the village. Come back once you're set up, and maybe you can earn your keep.
I'll do just that, and I plan to earn your trust one way or another. Alright, we got our first quest to build a new home. Build your first shelter or shack. To do so, press B to open construction menu, and then select shack and place it on the ground. Each construction requires resources to build it. Building shack shouldn't be a problem for you, but later on, hired villagers will help you out with more complex constructions. You cannot place buildings too close to existing villages. Find a good spot close to all sorts of resources as your first big decision. That will affect your logistics and strategies. Now, we will actually come back to this village quite often, and well, in the first part. So we do want to build a base outside of the village border regions right here. Now, one thing that's going to be a big issue is water, specifically reef plants that I noticed on my test playthrough, which most of it's going to be right here. There is a little piece of water right here, but until you basically take over Herodine, you can't build right. You can't harvest the resources right here. So going down this way would be a best bet. I will probably build right here. So that's where we'll head. If you guys also didn't know or didn't look at this, this is a co-op game. So multiple people can, I believe it's up to 4 players can play this. But basically, you can't build inside this square right here, from what I understand. All of this is Herodine stuff. So I'll go down to this, I find this nice little patch down here to be plenty of open space to start building a pretty decent construction size. Close enough to resources in the city to not have to backtrack for quite a long time. And also, kind of a nice open field. Big thing is resources on the map will respawn in the exact same spot every time. These are also not randomly generated. So be careful where you actually build your structures, because if you just, take over a bunch of resource nodes, they ain't coming back. The good thing, though, is when you're placing stuff like this, it will tell you if you're going to block quite significant resource nodes. If you look on the right there, it tells you if there's quite a good amount of resources to help start your building process. Like I said, right here is where I like to actually start my building area. Kind of near the road, kind of near the village. And it gives me plenty of open space right here to construct additional buildings. But interesting thing about this game as well is you actually stockpile all your resources right here and then just actually kind of snap place them all in. So first thing we're going to need to build our shack is we're going to need 6 flax and 10 wood. And we don't have an axe yet, so we're not going to be able to actually chop down trees to get wood. Also, if you're looking for flax, it's these blue flowers right here. I will say one thing I found while harvesting is sometimes you'll click to harvest and sometimes it won't actually pick up the item. Oh, sage is not what I want. 6 in flax. This is also the inventory space that you start with right here. So this will show you your inventory with the I button. We have settlement management right here, which you can build settlement, multiple outposts. Your village can be raided. And then there's also a tech tree. This will come and play later. The game, as far as I know, doesn't really tell you about the tech tree very much. And then armies aren't something that we have on hand right now. Just basically ourselves. Get some berries while we're out here. These are berries and mushrooms are pretty much going to be your main food source. It gives you some at the start. Depending on the quality of the food, it'll increase your health or stamina bar as you play through. And you can have a max of 3 foods right now. I haven't figured out if you can have more than 3 foods later on. But so far, we'll probably finish the quest of New Home, and then call it for the episode there. I'll try to keep these mainly mission-oriented. And I'll probably have some guide videos that come up every now and then while I'm doing this. Just things that I figured out that might be helpful. If you are looking for sticks, a good way is these like little brushwood places where you go into one of these dark woodland areas. It would also show you resources that you run by, so you won't actually like miss any, except for flax, which is pretty easy to find. Alright, so all our stuff just basically got put right here for us, which is nice. And now we actually go through and actually build it piece by piece. You do have to click on each one of these little white dots, which is a bit annoying that you can't just hold a button to like build it. But it's also a nice touch for making you feel like you're actually building the thing yourself. And we unlocked our shack. Which wants us to wait till tomorrow. So there's some... You can also always recreate your character right here. So you can change your head size, your arm size, shoulder width, all that stuff. So you make yourself really bulk, really wide, really skinny. Give you a giant head. Make yourself taller. Which I actually, exactly that. I forgot to make my character taller. And I got them balanced right here. There we go. Character's a tiny bit taller now. We got our own personal chest right here, which can hold quite a few items. There are chests that you can build for your village, but everyone will get access to them. So right now we shall just throw this stuff here. And then there's some stuff. There's some things that we can build around here. The outhouse is basically your garbage can where you throw stuff away. So while we wait for night, let's get some small stuff set up. Let's get an actual storage chest. Storage is generally to the right, so we'll try to keep that one steady. Now, I don't exactly know when resources will start regrowing. Something I have yet to figure out. Now, we are at 1720. Nighttime starts to fall around the 20 mark, which is at the bottom right-hand side. That shows you your location and the time of day that you're at. Alright, we got ourselves our first camp chest. Camp chest can hold 50 items. It starts out with 5 boxes. But as you add stuff, it kind of expands it. And the way I'm transferring everything is I hold Alt. Now, items in chests will stack, but only very specific items in your inventory will actually stack, which is a tiny annoying bit, I will say. But we got that one down. We'll need a campfire for some food. Campfires are generally quite huge, so I try to keep them in the center of the village. There is a upgrade campfire later on in the research tab, but we'll just work on this stuff while we wait for about 2 more minutes. It's about a minute an hour, so you got 20 minutes in a day. If you're looking for rocks, we don't actually have the ability to smash rocks yet. You'll just find stone just lying around on the ground, especially in forest areas. If you look for just clusters of rocks, you can find them. Now, you can eat most raw foods, but cooked foods will give you better stats. So it's kind of a good idea to get a fire started as soon as you can. There is seasonal cycles in this game. You actually don't have much time from what I played before winter hits you. And I'm not 100% sure on the effects of winter. I think you just consume food faster unless it's not implemented yet. Oh, we got some mushrooms right here. Now, you'll always find mushrooms in a huge cluster. Also, I'm getting pretty close to a bandit camp. Red dots will appear on your mini-map down there if enemies are nearby. These enemies could range from bandits to wolves to just other wildlife that'll try to kill you. So you do want to keep an eye on your mini-map as you're running around. See, like, here's a giant cluster of mushrooms. I will say by day 10 or 12, I believe, that's when my camp was first raided. So it does take quite a while, and they'll only raid when you become, like, kind of a significant site for them to feel like it's worth raiding you. Alright, we got a campfire ground placed here. Change your food when you're looking at these things. You actually rotate your mouse wheel. So that could be a big factor on deciding what you're going to be transferring through here. Let's see if I find some more stuff. Actually, it is about 20. So I'll head to bed. Too early to sleep. Yeah, 20 is when the sun goes down, you can actually lay in your bed. So lay down here so we can start our next quest tomorrow morning. Alright, so we got 5 days till winter. So it starts us on... Day 6 is when winter's going to start. Food does decay over time. So that is something you should watch out for. I was assuming that. Let's head back up to our elders to start our quest. Well, to continue on with our quest. Now, the new home quest will probably take you... about 45 minutes to complete, depending on how well you're doing. Took me an hour my first time through.
I heard a strange howling in the woods last night. Gave me chills.
Alright, these are a rich caravan. Look how many guards they have. You'll see caravans roam the world quite often with this latest update that they added. There's quite a few different animals, and you can actually buy animals later on once you have plenty of money.
And I will pray for you.
Quiet. They might hear us.
You do get bonuses for being well rested and things such as that. So our productivity, because our mushrooms at 20%, then we got max stamina and stamina regen, which these symbols I'm not 100% sure on right now.
Those peasants should be.
And there's a well rested bonus.
Stop wandering around. You again.
Give me a chance to earn your trust. If I fail, I'll leave you alone.
I'll tell you what. We actually have one problem you can try to resolve. If you're willing, of course.
Go ahead. What is it?
It gets cold around here, especially close to the mountains. If we want to keep ourselves warm, we need fur for it. Rabbit or wolf pelts. But you see, our hunter... Well, we got into a little discussion about how things should work in the village regarding payment.
And I'm guessing you couldn't agree on that little issue.
He doesn't want to work with us anymore, but Herndeen mostly depends on him to provide. I want you to convince him to deliver traps. If you can bring us rabbit fur too, that would be very much appreciated. But we can't expect you to do that every day. We want to be self-sufficient with our fur trapping. So the priority is the traps, and the rabbit fur would be a bonus. Take care of that, and then I will consider your request.
I'll see what I can do. Where can I find the hunter?
Go speak with Amelie. She's a bit of a troublemaker, but her heart's in the right place, or so I have to tell myself. She has a good relationship with everyone in the village, and knows nearly everything that goes on around here. If anyone can point you in the right direction, it's her.
That's what I'll do.
I miss the days when we could travel freely without fear of bandits or worse.
Greetings, newcomer. Say, have we met before? Your face is awfully familiar.
You had to be Emily. Elder told me you know where I could find Hunter Lubomir.
I am. What can I do for you?
Lubomir, do you know him?
Unfortunately.
Need to find him.
He's in the forest, just up the hill, not far from the village. Perhaps bring a book so you have something to do while he rants at you.
Thanks, I think. Alright, so he is over in this little forest section right here. Another reason why I put the camp right here is there's quite a few quests at the start that'll be just right around here. So let's mosey on down over there. See, like right here is a perfect example. Harvest belongs to a nearby village, so I can't really harvest any of the stuff that's nearby. In this, well, it's nearby the village. Oh no, some of my food spoiled. Alright, some of the berries back at camp. Also, this tree is very unique. I have no idea what it's about. I'm assuming it's for something later.
What are you looking for? It's dangerous to wander around the woods alone. Haven't you heard about wolves or bandits lurking in this area? You don't look like the hunting type. So what are you doing here?
Wolves and bandits lurking in the area? Are the bandits riding all the wolves or something?
Hilarious. I'm sure you'll still be laughing when a pack of wolves rip you limb from limb while you're still alive. Or bandits beat you bloody and sell you as a slave outside of the lowlands.
Worried about my well-being, then you should help me. I need traps and rabbit fur.
You're asking for help, but you don't know a thing about me or what I went through. I used to be a respected member of the community. I even could have been an elder if I wanted. But they degraded me because I refused to be a slave to Ashbourne's puppets. So I left. I still tried to contribute from a distance, providing them with fur, food, and creating traps for the sake of the village. But they wanted more. When I asked for better pay, the elder said no, and actually warned me not to ask again. At one point, he said he'd speak to the brigands about my behavior.
I don't want to defend anyone, but it seems like Harridan isn't wealthy enough to pay you.
It's not about wealth. It's about the threat, the disrespect they've shown me. I'm sick of talking about it, to be honest. I need some change in my life.
What do you mean?
Let's make an arrangement. You need traps, and I can teach you how to make them so you can catch smaller animals. You look like someone who can get things done. I don't know why, but I feel like you have a lot going on inside your head. I'm willing to join you if you provide me with shelter and food. Together we can make each other's lives easier in this land. So, can we cooperate?
Basically, you can recruit people in this game to help you out, which is kind of the civilization management things. This will be the first character that you're kind of forced to. And he's got really good stats as well. At first, they'll start as a companion, and then you can turn them into workers. Your village can be assigned to one of the 3 roles at any given time. A worker fulfills your crafting and production order in the settlement. A companion travels with you and follows your commands. A guard patrols and defends your settlements from danger. You can command your companion by giving them contextual orders with E to attack, harvest, and move. Try it yourself. It is vital that you and your village stay well fed. Going hungry will cause your companions, workers, and guards to stop what they are doing in order to find food. The better the food, the longer they can work. So I can hold the E button and we can basically get a flag. So far, the only thing I've seen is to move unless you target a specific location. But anyway, we need to turn our companion into a worker, which you will actually have to go to settlement population. Or no, not that. You actually have to walk up to the person themselves, and we're going to switch you into a worker. You're currently homeless, your morale's about halfway, and you got 2 foods on you, which is pretty good.
The village is looking better and better.
And for every person, we need to build ourselves a housing tent. Housing tent. Now I will actually have you probably have like 2 or 3 houses right here. Each house can hold 2 people inside of it. Start like a village area right here. Alright, so first up is we need a log. Yeah, we need 2 logs, 9 wood, and 6 flax. And good news is our companion over there actually has an axe to chop down trees so we can get logs. So we'll work on flax, and we'll grab the flax and wood from our base. So we need 6, or was it 9? Might have been 9. And then we're gonna need more flax as well. Alright, and then we need 2 logs, which he's up here chopping down trees, I believe. Or he is stuck.
So far, we're doing great work, don't you think?
I think if you weren't stuck, we'd be doing better work, sir. But while he, not sure if he's gonna figure out his thing. So since he's stuck, we will actually... I'm not sure if I can actually... I believe I can take his weapons. Which is a good thing for, because I believe I can take his axe. So I have to craft my own. Which, in order to craft your own, you'll need a workbench.
After this.
Yes, I'll click on him, click his inventory. Then I will take his axe. Ooh, he has a fur cape. Now that I have his axe, we can equip that.
Who's up for a break after this?
And then we can try to free him. Alright, we got him free. Don't worry, I'll make you another axe in a little bit, sir. Young trees will get you sticks. You need regular trees in order to get a log. So we gotta find ourselves a regular tree. Here we go. Bird! Now, logs do take up a significant space. They take up basically a quarter of your inventory. You'll get bags later on that'll expand your inventory space, which will be nice. But now we can construct his house. Put the axe away. Alright. Each one of their houses will also have a little storage container. It doesn't, it can hold actually quite a bit. So we'll transfer that in there, and then we'll transfer some food in there. And if the slots fill up, it'll actually add more slots to the thing. But this is where they'll keep most of their items. Alright, now we can build a research desk and a simple workbench. So I'll actually keep those near me. And where the people are facing is basically where I kind of determine where they'll be facing as well.
I feel it's going to be a good day.
Yes, sir. Oh, I took the stones out of the chest because of the public chest. You can actually take those. We'll need flax. It'll tell you what your gang nearby is harvesting as well, which is kind of nice. But I am afraid when you get a lot of NPCs in your town, that thing might just go a tiny bit crazy off on the side. Now, every once in a while, I'll hear bees. I will not see bees, though, so I'm not sure if beehives are a thing in this game or if they're going to add those actually later.
The village is looking better and better.
Yes, it is, sir. Alright, got our workbench, which the wet will allow us to make a simple axe. We'll get one of those working so that he can actually wield it. We're not going to be able to make a spear yet because we don't have crafting level 2.
Who's up for a break after this?
If you look at your attributes, they'll tell you what level is. Level 10 is the max. Alright, so he made a simple axe. We'll put it in our inventory, and then we'll give it to our friend here. Give him his little axe back so he can do some work. Alright, now we need to build a research desk. This is basically what you're going to need to make all of your research. Now, there is no ground snapping I've discovered, but it does seem that you can rotate it with the G button. I've also yet to determine how long it takes for a tree to grow back. And he's got the other log, and then we just need 4 more wood. Which I am out of wood, so we need to chop down a small tree. I've yet to determine if you can turn a log into a tree, into sticks yet. I think you actually need something later on in the research tab to be able to do that. There's that little glitch. You like try to move mid pickup, it'll not pick up the item, sadly. And my food's out, so we just lost a bunch of health and stamina. All right, we got our research desk. All right, now we need to research our small traps. 5 wood and 2 flax. So we need to transfer wood and flax actually into the local storage for the research thing. And then we ourselves, sadly, cannot do research. We have to have a companion do research, which kind of sucks and kind of
The village is looking better and better.
Manage your settlement. The more powerful your settlement becomes, the more likely it is to attract raiding parties. Invest into guards and better gear to fight them back. Build outposts. Don't limit yourself to just one settlement. You may need resources that are found in other corners of the region. You can find all the useful information in the town overview with the tab. Now, I probably will create a outpost down by these little dark spots, because these dark spots are actually water areas. And this is kind of a great river that spreads out.
We could make a small city there, don't you think?
All right, now we just have to wait for him to get done researching.
I feel it's going to be a good day.
And now there's now into the workbench. There's actually 2 things here. You can craft items yourselves, or you can add a managed workload. So we can go over here and tell him to actually craft us a trap. Which, if I remember right, we're going to need 3 of them later. And when you highlight over it, it'll tell you what it requires. So it requires 5 wood for each of these traps. So back to chopping down more trees. Now, big trees will actually relieve stumps, but the young trees do not. I do like how those things kind of just disappear. Alright, we got the 15 wood that we needed. Let's get that little thumbnail off our screen. And now add all these up there. Alright, get off your lazy butt and start working.
After this.
Oh, alright, we got some roasted mushrooms. Let's actually take those out so we can eat them. We'll keep the berries in there. I haven't found what I can use berries for just yet. And we're staying at 1785, so we got 2 more minutes before nightfall. This game, even at max volume, is one of the few games that actually is kind of quiet. Most games I start them up, I gotta immediately drop the sound quality to 60 because it's blaring into my eardrums, but not this game. When I rewatch this as a recording, I'll see how quiet it actually is, and I might actually have to edit the sound and make this game a tiny bit louder for you guys. Alright, so he made a small trap, so we can actually go into the management section, and we can pull a trap out of there and throw it into our inventory. Now, we need to go into a... we hover over the item. This basic trap requires bait and actual rabbits nearby to secure a quick meal, so placing it in a dense forest is most effective. So, we got our dense forest area over here, we got a dense forest area over there, and then we got a dense forest area up here. So, we'll actually throw it in here for now, just to get things rolling. That bandit camp right there is a bit concerning, though. I like to also, during my playtests, like to actually... Oh! Use, please. Place these near vegetative spots. Kind of a bit away from each other. So then I can just pick up these 2 mushrooms. Go over here because you have to add bait. And then add a mushroom into there. Cool thing about these traps is they actually show up on your mini-map. And when they've actually caught something, they will glow with a blue light over top of them, so you know if they're actually caught or not. So you just do a quick run by and check, which is very, very nice mechanic. I mean, we're trying to be realistic. It destroys the realism factor, but it's still kind of neat. We're probably going to need more stones as we go. Yeah, I think later on we can actually turn these into sticks. But right now we can't. Oh, it completely changes the model. That's funny to me. Alright, young trees, young trees, young trees. Where are we at? Looks like this quest is also going to take us a tiny bit over an hour. We're at, we're standing at 53 minutes right now. This game also has directional attacking. So whatever way you're moving your mouse is the way your attack will actually swing. So like if I'm moving left and hit my attack button, I'll swing left. If I'm moving right and hit my attack button, I'll swing right. Same thing with top and bottom. And then blocking is also directional too. So you got kind of that For Honored style fighting if you've basically ever seen For Honored or played it. Alright, so we need to go to manage to see if he's crafted anything. He's not. We need to craft ourselves 2 small traps. And we got the 10 wood for that. So we'll get these crafting, take our nap, go see if our pelts are, go see if our traps are cutting rabbits. This game does need a tiny bit of background music. It's a very, very quiet game, like I said before. Like I'm looking at my OBS audio detector, and it's hitting like that 40 mark constantly and going up to a 30, which it should be at a pretty decent 20 all the way through. So I might actually find some like evil, medieval themed music to play in my videos. We got those two set. Let's take our nap here. Day 3, 4 days until winter. Alright, now that we got that going, eat a berry, get some tiny bit more stamina. And let us put this axe away and run back and see if our traps have caught anything. If they haven't caught anything yet, I'll just turn in the small traps. Oh no, they caught stuff. When you catch, for example, when you catch stuff like that, it'll give you that little tiny blue light. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the actual weights determine for how much you get out of the animal. I can also pick up the carcass. So we got ourselves a rabbit carcass. A hubble catch from field, small yet resourceful, while field scanning can yield a monster turn. Processing it at Berkshire unlocks far greater rewards, which we don't have right now, but we shall have later. Refilled those up. The rabbit will start to decay, sadly, so we'll actually just drop it on the ground, then we'll skin it real quick. Then head up, turn in the pelt. And it should get us close to our hour mark here. Alright, so we got our 2 pelts, 2 raw meat. Let's throw that raw meat on the campfire, because that'll be good eating later. Then back to town. And that should complete our village in need quest. And then we'll have a another quest pop up after that one. Yeah, I do like that when it's raining like this, everyone's clothes get a bit damp. And the texture on them changes. Ooh, our wraith threat has reached 10%. I mean, someone looked at us, was like, seems interesting. Not worth it yet, but seems interesting. So far I've noticed you can pet the cats and the dogs, but you can't pet any of the other animals. And then you have this merchant right here, which lets you basically buy animals.
Let's talk. You're back. Did you manage to convince him?
Here's your fur. Don't ask me how. Are we good yet?
That's good. Really impressive. Unfortunately, that's not the end. I need something more from you. You see, we have a problem with wolves, and someone has to take care of them.
Have you lost your mind? Hunting rabbits is one thing, but fighting with wolves?
You showed me you're true to your word, but I need more to trust you. Will you do it for me or not?
Fine, I'll bring your wolf pelts as a trophy. Alright, well, that ends the Village in Need quest line. So our next one is Hunter and Hunted, and we're going to have to hunt down some wolves. Which, wolves...
The innkeeper's been complaining about rowdy guests. Can't say I blame them.
Wolves are not that difficult of an enemy. Unless you're fighting like a horde of them. But we'll bring our other guy along to help us out there. But anyway, that will end it for this episode. Gonna try to keep them to mission specific as much as I can. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It is a bit quiet, so I might actually go into editing and make it louder. If a recording seems loud enough, I'll probably keep it the same. But I do enjoy this game. It is fun. Like, I like city management games, and it's fun when the rare occasional city management game actually lets you play as a participant and not just as a godly overlord that just tells people what to do and they do it without any other sign of anything. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like always, please leave a like to subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to answer them in a video if it's a question that requires a guide to answer, or I'll just respond to you guys. But anyway, like always, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, later guys.